It's not just that they're playful at work. I think they encourage people to be playful about life.
25 years of movie-making history.
Creative, inventive, and fun.
They've maintained a childlike devotion to tell stories about the human heart.
Really beyond belief.
11 successive box office hits.
Just their extraordinary track record. I mean, they just don't lose.
The journey to the top hasn't always been a smooth ride.
I get this call, and he said, your employment with the Disney Studios is now terminated.
But perseverance and talent eventually paid off.
Mostly they've been around for a long time because they keep winning.
Really amazing people.
This is truly going to be timeless and forever, and will always land in the consciousness of yet another generation of moviegoers.
And it all started with a little lamp.
3 words to describe Pixar. Gift from God.
Pixar. We all know what they do. No? Well, they're responsible for this. And him. And them.
Nemo!
You get the idea.
Yeah!
Tonight, we'll look back at 25 magic moments from the studio's 25-year history.
I guess we could use a little entertainment.
Exactly. Along the way, we'll see just what it takes to make a Pixar feature film.
These guys are professionals. They're the best.
And we'll be joined by all of the key players involved.
They encourage a kind of stress-free environment, and that filters into all of their movies.
It feels to me like it's kind of a college campus.
You feel like it's new every time. You know, every time you show up for something, there's a real great energy in the room.
You're suddenly surrounded by a bunch of young geniuses who understand what they're doing while you don't.
The secret to our success is we have a blast making these films. If you're having fun making a film, it's going to appear on the screen.
Now there's only one place you'll find a studio making blockbusters like these. We're going to Emeryville, an unassuming, quiet suburb of the Golden Gate City, which just happens to be the home of one of the world's most successful film studios, Pixar.
It's a big, kind of a family. I mean, a lot of people, we hang out together both at work and after work. We collaborate with each other. It's a group effort to make these movies, and I think the building and the culture reflects that.
Yes, these are a unique gang of filmmakers who strive to be different.
We did not want to do what Disney was from Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and all those films. They had their thing going, and we wanted to be different.
Okay, Pixar, you want to be original, you want to be groundbreaking, let's see what you've got.
You are a toy!
Yep, that should do it. Toy Story, their debut hit.
The story drove everything. It was so refreshing because we were making the movie we wanted to make.
So our first magic moment is the Toy Story scene that brought these two lovable characters together. Oh, and gave children the world over a new playground catchphrase.
We're all very impressed with Andy's new toy.
Toy?
T-O-Y. Toy.
Excuse me, I think the word you're searching for is Space Ranger.
The whole struggle between Buzz and Woody was largely about Buzz's delusion.
He's not a space ranger. He doesn't fight evil or shoot lasers or fly.
You know, and Buzz in his cluelessness just aggravates this guy, Woody.
Oh, impressive wingspan.
And I remember that was one of those scenes that was just so much fun because of the read that Tom Hanks gave us.
These are plastic. He can't fly.
They are a beryllium carbonic alloy, and I can fly.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You can't.
Can't. Tell you, I could fly around this room with my eyes closed.
Okay, then, Mr. Lightbeer, prove it.
All right, then I will.
We wanted to create these two characters that were so fun that even if they were locked in an elevator for the whole movie, you'd want to watch them and see what happens next.
To infinity and beyond! can.
A great magic moment to kick off with. And after the critical and commercial success of Toy Story, the pressure was on for Pixar's second film. And if a handful of toys proved tricky to animate, what were they thinking with thousands of insects?
I think we bit off maybe more than we could chew in terms of the scale of the movie and how many characters there were.
And it wasn't only the number of characters that challenged the animators.
We had this tiny little camera that we could put on the end of a stick and put it down into the grass and see what our world kind of looks like from an ant's perspective.
Research was literally done in our own backyard.
Okay, technological advances made. All that's needed now is a bit of humor.
Anyone who's ever spent any time looking at ants knows that they walk in a straight line. And then, of course, dealing with the chaos of a leaf falling down and blocking the line and none of them being able to decide what to do. What do we do? Do we go around? It's just complete panic.
Oh, no, oh, no. I'm lost! Where's the line? It just went away. What do I do? Help! We'll be stuck here forever. Do not panic.
It was just kind of a funny way of showing that no individual ants have their own thoughts.
That's it. That's it. Good. You're doing great. There you go. There you go. Watch my eyes. Don't look away. And here's the line again. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Soil. Good job, everybody.
It was a very ambitious film. It ended up really bringing a lot of us to our knees because it was a very difficult film to make.
Having conquered crowd shots in A Bug's Life, every Pixar film since has pushed the boundary of what computer animation can create. And in 2009, they treated us to a visual feast of grace and beauty, all tied together in thousands of balloons.
That's typical. He's probably going to the bathroom for the 80th time.
You'd think he'd take better care of his house.
That moment in Up when the house lifts off, I mean, that's the centerpiece of that movie.
Of course, one of the first things that the technical directors did was to calculate, okay, given the average weight of a house, how many balloons would it realistically take to lift a house? And I think they came up with like 25 million or something, which we ended up with around 20,000, so we cheated.
The buildings were literally growing up around him, and so when he finally sort of broke free of that, we were hoping the audience would really feel that he was finally off on an adventure.
It wasn't a chase scene, it wasn't an action scene, it was just a soft, lilting journey, the start of this guy's adventure.
So we've seen talking toys, an army of ants, and a flying house. On paper, ludicrous ideas, but somebody has to think them up.
People typically only see the final movie. And so think, well, somebody had an idea or script and then they made that movie. And that's actually not how it works.
It's more of a discovery, really, the whole process.
We do take risky things. For instance, Ratatouille about a rat that can cook, or Up, you know, it's like these are unusual ideas. So we don't shy away from an unusual idea.
Some people just want to tell it to you across the table. Some people want to get up and move around the room. Some people want some visual aid with a stick and they're pointing to it. Some people have slideshows. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to, do you have that Monday morning by the water cooler at the workplace gift for making me riveted?
Unlike other film studios, Pixar is unique in that it will only accept script ideas from its own employees. Which is a shame, really, because I've had a great thought about an animated hamster called Trevor. Any takers? Anyone want to give it a go? Nope? Okay, let's move on.
The second animator after me that was ever hired at Pixar was Andrew Stanton.
And then Pete Docter was soon after that. And I knew right away that these guys are good enough to make their own films.
When Toy Story came out, I was surprised how many people said, you know, I really thought that my toys came to life too. And I thought, wow, I wonder how many other things there are like that we all sort of believed in as a kid. And one of them, I knew that there were monsters in my closet. I remember trying to get to sleep, and the closet door would be open just a little bit, and you'd see the part of a shirt that, is that a shirt or a tentacle? And so that beginning of the film really came out of my own experience as a little kid.
In 2001, Pete Docter's pitch finally became Monsters, Inc. But before we enjoy a laugh-out-loud scene, here's something you might not know.
Morning, Ricky. Hey, it's a Selster. See you on the scare floor, buddy. Hey, Marge.
I'm the dope who turned down Toy Story.
Is that a joke? Tell me you're joking.
Really stupid.
So now the truth comes out, doesn't it?
A couple of years later, phone rings. My assistant says John Lasseter's on the phone. I picked it up and I went, yes.
And with that yes, another classic comedy duo was born.
Hey, let's talk more pain, Marshmallow Boy. Feel the burn. You call yourself a monster?
Mike and Sully's relationship is a Laurel and Hardy kind of relationship.
Okay, Sully, here we go.
All those classic comedy teams live together. They have a great affection for each other, and that's what's so fun about it. Sometimes two minds without a single thought, but they're real guys. And they need each other.
Twins and a bunk bed.
They work together, they live in the same place.
Ooh, I thought I had you there.
That's the whole relationship that's set up there, and it provided a lot of fun, especially with those two actors, you know.
I don't know, but it's been said. I love scaring kids in bed.
We mostly record each actor individually. But because we wanted them to have this relationship that they could complete each other's sentences and jab each other and, you know, kind of riff on each other, we got both the actors in and the energy just went up.
Oh, I don't believe it!
I'm not even breaking a sweat.
Not you.
The inseparable Mike and Sully, proving that there's nothing more important in a Pixar movie than the love between characters. And in 2003, our hearts were warmed yet again by this father and son.
Now, what's the one thing we have to remember about the ocean?
It's not safe.
That's my boy.
My son was about 4, maybe 4 or 5, and I felt I hadn't seen him in at least a week and a half, if not 2 weeks, and I just felt so guilty, and I said, okay, well, I have my Saturday, we're going to go take a walk in the park.
Whoa, hold on, wait to cross.
And I spent the entire walk going, don't touch that, you're going to fall into the road, put that down.
Hold my fin.
Here I am, a good father with all the best of intentions, and I can't get out of my own way and do what I really need to do and connect with my child. And I thought, that's got to be a universal dilemma.
My dad says it's not safe.
Nemo! No!
Dad?
Ugh, you're about to swim into open water.
No.
We worked on the scene quite a bit, and it never really had heft to it until we got the idea to really bring Nemo to a rock-bottom place and saying,
I hate you.
It's a classic kid-parent moment, not one of the moments that you want to remember, but the kind of thing that happens.
You are in big trouble, young man. Do you hear me?
I loved that maybe me as a scuba diver just going down to take pretty pictures is the equivalent of Godzilla invading Tokyo. The idea of being separated from your child is pretty intense.
Nemo!
But the impossible task of finding a needle in a haystack, that seemed like an insurmountable goal that I wanted to see somebody conquer as a moviegoer.
No, please, no!
Now from one protective dad to one incredible mum.
She just extended her mothering instincts beyond the normal reach to protect her family.
You're all right. Oh, you're all right. We're so worried about you.
Every power matches the character, right? So Dad is a strong guy who just wants to push his way through things. The mom is a housewife with 3 kids, so she has to stretch in a lot of different directions. A teenage girl wants nothing more than to be invisible and put force fields up around her.
How are you doing?
And Dash is a 10-year-old hyperactive kid.